Let's talk water. The average homeowner in Arvada will see an increase in their water bills soon. There are lots of reasons for the increase, so we visited the folks with some answers. You might call this next report Arvada Water 101. Water, the precious resource we cannot live without. But let's face it, most of us take it for granted. Until our water bill rises, that is, then lots of numbers come into play. But for most homeowners, it boils down to one number: the increase in water bills for 2008.
For water, wastewater, and stormwater, all three combined, the average single-family homeowner will see an increase of about $3.80 a month.
That $3.80 hike reflects a 17.8% increase in wastewater rates, a 2% increase in stormwater rates, and a 5% increase in water rates. Now, about that 5% increase.
We have not added any new programs or people. These are outside costs that are affecting us. Our payment to Denver Water.
And rising costs for heat and fuel too, says Jim. Bringing all that water to our homes takes 29 full-time employees, and they have their hands full.
We have 541 miles of water main in the system. 481 of that is 4-inch to 12-inch, which we call our distribution system. We have 60 miles of transmission line pipe, which is 14, all the way up to 54-inch pipe.
Add 163 miles of service lines. Toss in 34,000 meters, 5,000 fire hydrants, 14,000 valves, 11 storage tanks, 9 water pumping stations, and the Water Transmission and Distribution Division keeps busy. In addition to normal maintenance, about 65 times a year, things break. That's more than once a week. And rain, shine, or bitter cold, if a line breaks, it's Cliff Deeds' department that's out fixing it.
Water main breaks mostly are due to corrosion in Arvada. The older pipes, the 6-inch cast iron, the metal just fatigues over the years. We do get a certain amount of what we call beam breaks. It's like taking a pencil and snapping it. It's when the soil's moving a little bit, cooling down, heating up, things along those lines. In addition, we do roughly 220 excavations on the water system, repairing valves, valve boxes, fire hydrants, meter pits throughout the year.
Aside from fixing things, routine maintenance is part of the job too.
We flush our water mains about once every 3 years. We control flush them, which consists of closing valves, pulling the water in a certain pattern at a certain velocity to ensure that we're picking up any loose debris that's in the pipe.
So, potable water, the stuff we play in, drink, and water our lawns with, that's transmission and distribution, and it includes pretty much everything after the water treatment plant treats the water to the point where it hits our home property lines. But what about after we use the water? That's where wastewater comes in. Get ready for some more numbers. Try 10,000 sanitary sewer manholes and 398 miles of sewer pipe. About 190 miles of it is newer PVC pipe installed in the late 1970s or later.
Which means that about 200 miles of the existing sanitary sewer system in Arvada is the older clay or concrete pipe.
Much of it is at or exceeding its 50-year life expectancy. But replacing this old infrastructure accounts for only a small portion of the 2008 wastewater increase.
Roughly 3% of the overall increase, 3% of the 17.8%, goes to infrastructure replacement.
But the majority of the increase, 14%, is due to the fact that all our wastewater goes into huge 6-foot mains that are part of the Metro wastewater system, which is also getting more expensive.
The Metro plant really treats the sewage for an awful lot of people in the Metro area. I believe it's over 2 million people.
From there, the treated sewage water is released back to the South Platte. But laws are getting stricter about clean water, and that's driving up the cost of collecting and treating sewage.
Most of our rate increases that we're seeing are actually due to regulatory pressures. We're being required to treat sewage to a much higher standard. A lot of this is due to the impact it has on the environment area. So wastewater rates are going to go up significantly over the next 20 years.
Aside from the increased costs of metro-wide treatment of sewage, Arvada's wastewater crew handles routine maintenance within the city.
Fortunately for us, unlike the water distribution system in the city, which is a pressurized line, wastewater lines are not pressurized. Everything is primarily gravity fed. So we don't actually have a lot of line breaks, pipe breaks. Our biggest concern is to ensure that we do everything we can to minimize and eliminate any sewer backups or overflows.
21 wastewater employees take care of wastewater issues. There are televising crews.
They go out and televise and videotape all of the sanitary sewer as well as the storm lines in the city. Last year in 2007, they televised 102 miles of sewer pipe.
Jet cleaning crews.
Last year, they actually cleaned 445 miles of sewer pipe.
And then there are stormwater crews.
Their primary responsibility is to take care of the stormwater system as well as do all in-house point repairs on the sanitary and storm systems.
The stormwater rates went up 2%, and most of that cost was just a power and heat, general inflation costs.
So it all adds up. Stricter regulations, higher operating costs, and the need to replace aging infrastructure are behind that $3.80 average monthly increase in water rates, which will help keep water flowing in Arvada.